$20,000. Somebody please hook me up with what these people are smoking. Holy crap, 15K, $11,000, 11, 9,700, 6,900, 6,800. Oh, that's just a placement. Holy crap, if I knew what I knew now about 5 years ago, I would have stocked up on all of these, literally bought out all of eBay for sealed iPhone 2Gs and just held on to them, because holy crap, these things have gotten expensive beyond what I remember. Let's actually see if any of them have sold recently and for what price. This is just insane. What a way to get rich. Stock up on old iPhones. Wow, someone actually bought one for $16,000. Or maybe it just got relisted, but there are several sold here. Someone got a good deal at $2,900. Wow. So guys, if you have your original iPhone, the first one, the 2G model, hold on to it regardless of whether you have the original box. That helps a lot though. If it's sealed, these things have gone up in value like crazy. I'm actually picking one up every other day right now just to add to my collection, because they're going up in price, and within the last 2 years it has been insane. So grab one while you can. If you have one, hold on to it, because one day these guys may make you rich, and depending on which serial code, which serial number, if it's one of the earlier models, they pay more for it because they can run the earlier firmwares. So wow, that's insane. Back in 2013, there was an article about these things appreciating in value, and that was when they were at 2K. Now in 2016, they're at freaking 20K, 15K. That's insane. Guys, welcome back to my Apple News Weekly series. Thanks to you guys wanted it, so I'm going to be making this a weekly thing. Summarize everything that happened this week. And actually, there's quite a bit that's happened this week, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, get it while you can, guys. There is an app in the App Store right now that's going to be banned within hours, within a day max, that allows you to record your screen. That's how I was actually doing that just there. So this app will actually allow you to record the screen with a bar on top. The best thing is you can find it in the App Store absolutely for free. So just jump in and search for Screen Recorder. It's the first one. It's a little camera with a video recording symbol. So do check it out. It's kind of crazy. These things don't happen often, but when they do, someone sneaks something into the App Store, it's pretty great to have it. There were instances before where there were personal hotspots. I downloaded the jailbreak in the App Store. That was pretty crazy. I still have it. Best thing is this will be attached to your account permanently. No matter if Apple bans it tonight or tomorrow, you can still use it forever and re-download it on all of your devices. So grab it now. It won't be around for long. And actually quite a bit of iPhone 8 and even 7S rumors that have been going around recently. I haven't made a video on them, but there is one in particular that stood out to me. A new color option. So before we talked about a jet white possibility, I don't know, nothing really going on with that, but a red color option may be soon in the cards for the iPhone 7S or 8 next year. And this is according to Maka Takara. A red color option could be possible. I think it's kind of cool. This would definitely be in collaboration with Product Red. I don't know if it would actually help the AIDS development for a cure or whatever, but it may mean for a pretty hot looking color on the iPhone. And Maka Takara is pretty reliable. They actually predicted the removal of the headphone jack, so when they say it, I believe it. Red may be in the works for a color next year. Holy crap, this is actually pretty damn terrifying. So if any of you guys are on iOS 9.3.3, for whatever reason, jailbroken or not, you are vulnerable to this bug right here, this exploit, this Safari browser exploit. So basically, in this video, I'm going to link you guys to down below. This guy reverse engineered Luca Tedesco's browser exploit, embedded it with the jailbreak, and whenever you click on a link in Safari, it could be an innocent link for anything. It'll go ahead and exploit your device in the background, run the jailbreak, and then take over control of your phone, where they can take pictures secretly, which he does right there. It'll send to the guy doing it. That picture, rear camera, front camera, doesn't matter. I don't know if he can silence the shutter. I think that was just for effect, but he could also write messages to you on the phone. That is terrifying.
I see you.
Yeah, I see you. He can make it speak to you too through Siri. That is so effing scary. Holy crap. So if you guys are on those firmwares, 9.3.3 or below, it was patched in 9.3.5, I believe. Don't know about 9.3.4. It's a bit scary. On a jailbreak, there is a patch that was promised that's going to be arriving shortly to fix this vulnerability. Otherwise, holy crap, that's pretty terrifying what someone can do. Imagine NSA, what they can do that we don't even know that they can do. This is on 9.3.3. That's not even that long ago. Makes you think, doesn't it? A very good piece of news for the iPhone 6s users. Its boot ROM has been dumped. So using some very complex tools and processes that I couldn't even possibly comprehend right now, I'll leave a link to the process down below. It's actually pretty fascinating. I only understood a couple words on the page. But the boot ROM was dumped, so they have an image of the boot ROM. What is this? In a rough nutshell, basically what it is the device itself. So once they clone it, and they find an exploit into that boot ROM, you could do so many things using this exploit, which doesn't exist, by the way. They just cloned the boot ROM. They didn't actually find a way in order to exploit it. So what can you do with the boot ROM? Just like the iPhone 4, when they found the boot ROM, you can downgrade the firmware. You can jailbreak it regardless of what firmware the phone is on. It could be a firmware several years into the future. It's not something Apple can patch. You can recover data from a phone with a passcode if it's stuck in recovery. It's basically the most advanced way to hack or jailbreak a phone through a boot ROM exploit. That's ridiculous. And icing on the cake with a boot ROM exploit, you can run Android on a phone like that one time, all the way back with the 2G and 3G.
I found mostly everything does work, but the camera doesn't work and it overheats. Now, controls, to go back to the home menu button is the power button.
You can get the verbose boot and even use boot logos on your device. So right now we're restricted to Respring logos on jailbreaks. This is like the whole shebang, the ultimate glory of a jailbreak. Does the fact that this guy dumped the boot ROM make anything possible? No, it's just a cloned image. There's no way in yet. So either way, it doesn't happen often that a boot ROM is cloned or dumped. It's just recently happened on the 6, on the 5S, on the 5, and not a lot of people can do this, so it's good news regardless. Now, I talked briefly about the iPhone 6s battery recall in my earlier videos, yet a ton of people commented, and not even to me, to Apple, that their older phones have been affected. This includes the 6 Plus, the 6S that wasn't issued in the recall, and a lot of older phones like 5S, iPhone 5, after the iOS 10 upgrade. So a lot of people are really pissed off that their phones are dying at like 40, 30, 20%, and Apple has went out and said that it is a software issue and they are working on fixing it. So in iOS 10.2, which may come next week or this coming week, Apple will be working on tracking the diagnostics a little bit better for this battery issue. So they're not issuing a fix yet. They're just now beginning to study it on all of these devices since it's such a widespread issue. So in 10.2, they're going to start diagnosing it. In a future update, they're going to actually patch it. Sadly, we're nearing the middle of December and still no Apple AirPods. What the heck is happening to them? Now, Wall Street Journal is reporting that there are 2 issues that have kept this thing from being released already. One is manufacturing. It's hard to make a whole bunch of these right now, but the biggest issue right now is the syncing issue. They can't get the audio to go to both headpieces and have it sync seamlessly. So if one gets lost, if the battery dies on one, it changes things for a single use, and there's a couple issues, like little tiny things that they're trying to figure out with this whole syncing issue, and they can't, so that's why it has been delayed. But Tim Cook himself actually hinted that it may be released in the next coming few weeks. In the last video, we were talking about Apple Crime. This time there's more to talk about, this time in Reno, Nevada. So they upped the ante. Instead of running in, dashing and grabbing phones, this time they decided to dash in with their car. They drove a car into an Apple store, which was closed at the time, late at night, and ran in, stole a bunch of MacBooks and iPhones, and they did get away. Not with the car, which, by the way, was too damaged to drive back out, so they had to leave it there. They were found later in a different vehicle. I'm not sure how. Did Apple track them by those MacBooks or those iPhones? Who knows? Maybe they weren't as smart as they seemed with their plan. But 5 teenagers were arrested for stealing iPhones, which are essentially just worth their price in parts. So if you're thinking about robbing from an Apple store, I don't know if it's really worth it in the end. Now, if you're wondering why the wallpaper, I tastefully modified it in light of the whole Apple versus Samsung court issue. It's been going on for so long, and back in 2012 when Apple actually won $1 billion from Samsung because of trademark infringement, later Samsung did appeal a good portion of it, about $450 million, saying, why should we pay profits on all of our phones when only a few patents were infringed upon? So basically, an appeal was won in the Supreme Court, and now it's not going to be $400 million that Samsung is settling with Apple. It'll be a much smaller amount based on how much or how many patents were infringed upon. If you guys remember in the last video, we talked about how thermonuclear war was going to happen between Apple and Samsung based on Steve Jobs' own words. So it's still going to this day, this crazy patent battle between Samsung and Apple. And if you guys wanted to try out the Delta emulator, which I talked about in an earlier video, which combines several Nintendo emulators into one, it is now available for beta signup. So you guys can go ahead and fill out a form I'll leave down below to go ahead and try this earlier than everybody else. And I think you should, because why not? It's trying out the latest in emulator tech, and I don't know if there will be a special way to install it. It should be side-loaded, I believe. Yeah, do check that out, and prepare your favorite candy. They will ask for that. It's very important. Mine was Ferrero Rocher. Anyways, so yeah, check that out. I also wanted to talk about Snapchat Plus or Phantom side-loading it. So I haven't made a video on that in a while. That's because it hasn't been possible for a while. Snapchat has been very vigilant about not allowing people to hack Snapchat. So there hasn't been a good way. Just a couple days ago, there was a new way released. I tried it, didn't work. I've been experimenting, trying a bunch of things out to get it working for you guys, but I haven't. So I haven't forgot about it. I'm just trying to find a way that works, and when it does, I'll release a guide on that. And guys, there it is, the latest on Apple this week. I think I'll make this video series kind of a weekly thing because you guys want me to. I was actually very happy with the response to it, so why not? I'm gonna talk to you guys about little things I usually can't in other videos. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one next week. Peace.